A Houston construction dealing with tragedy. The stock market stumbled a bit after recent comments made by President Trump.
Happening in a town near you. Stick around and find out more.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
ntTV Nightly News. I'm Blake Weiland.
And I'm Jordan Miller. A major shock in the entertainment industry today. Legendary rock star and guitarist Eddie Van Halen has died at 65 from throat cancer. The announcement came on Twitter from his son. In the tweet, he said, "He was the best father I could ever ask for. Every moment I've shared with him on and off stage was a gift."
A local Texas school is starting their first day of quarantine coming into October. A kindergarten class at the Hilltop Elementary School in Argyle is in quarantine after an unnamed staffer tested positive for COVID-19. Parents were informed about the quarantine on Saturday after officials learned of the test results late Friday. The district is tracing the additional close contacts Argyle ISD schools, were some of the first to bring students back for in-person classes amid the pandemic. While the Argyle students are out of their classrooms for a few days, many of the UNT students are in class on a daily basis, face-to-face. While it may feel empty on campus, about 40% of UNT students are taking at least one face-to-face class. But fewer people on campus doesn't mean less attention to COVID-19 safety rules. Professors teaching in person must follow protocols to keep everyone safe.
One of the requirements this year is that we have assigned seating, which is a first in all of my time working in higher ed. And we take attendance every single class period. So within Canvas, there's an attendance system that identifies where every single student sits, and they sit in that same seat.
The assigned seating makes contact tracing easier for UNT if there is a positive test in a class. However, that doesn't necessarily mean the class would go on to online learning for a quarantine period. If you want more information, check out the UNT COVID hotline website.
Well, before we head over to Andrew and our first look at weather, let's head outside. If you are looking at our newest addition to firefighting here in Denton, it's Fire Station number 3. We're particularly excited because this is the station that would respond if UNT needs help. The station is 16,000 square feet and can house up to 11 firefighters. Planning and groundbreaking took place in mid-2019, and we are looking forward to a ribbon-cutting ceremony sometime this month.
Well, it's certainly heating up this week, and I'm already missing that cooler weather. Jordan, how do you feel?
I completely agree, Blake. This heat has got to go. Let's go to our weather anchor, Andrew Fancher, to find out if we're going to get any cooler. Andrew?
Well, Jordan, I can't promise any cooler temperature. Right now, we're in the golden hour of our evening, which we can enjoy until exactly 7:05 tonight. Now, during that time, we'll see temperatures of 85 degrees and with a wind speed of 8 miles per hour. And then come tonight, we'll see a nightly low of 71 degrees come 11 p.m. with a soft wind speed of 5 miles per hour from the southeast. And then as we move into tomorrow, we'll see some clouds in the sky, still some sunny temperatures with a daily high of 87 degrees come 3 o'clock with wind speeds anywhere between 5 and 10. Now we also have some clouds in the forecast, but more on that later in the show. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. A deadly construction accident in Houston is under investigation tonight. Reporter Stephanie Okoli has more.
You heard a cascading of boom, 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 boom.
About 1:30 p.m.
Open the blind and I noticed all the smoke coming up.
Tonight, it is still not clear what caused the fatal industrial accident, which witnesses say caused the area to rumble.
I mean, I was paranoid. I was paranoid that the whole building was going to collapse.
According to authorities, it was a stairwell that came crashing down from at least 13 floors up. There were 240 workers in the building. 3 of them were killed. This building, the future location for a Marathon Oil headquarters, and a statement, the company says in part, "We extend our deepest sympathies to the families of those contractors who were affected and thank the first responders. We have offered assistance to the building contractors as they respond to this incident. The building contractors for this Harvey Builders. The company also issuing a statement which read in part, "Construction is an inherently dangerous activity, and in recognition of this, Harvey and its subcontractors observe very strict protocols on every project. Our thoughts and deepest sympathies are with each of the families involved during this difficult time."
I'm saddened for the families because every day when I walk out in the morning times, you'll see these construction workers going to work. They're there diligently every single day doing whatever they have to do to make an income.
I'm Svenia Coley, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Denton police arrested the suspect who they say assaulted a young man in the Denton Buc-ee's parking lot. 44-year-old Jason Latta was charged with assault causing bodily injury. ntTV's Danielle Zachariah spoke with the victim today about what happened to him. Danielle?
The young man who was punched outside the Denton Buc-ee's this weekend is 23-year-old Dan Schockler. Today he told me he's doing okay, but still overwhelmed. According to police, the victim approached Jason Latta, who was with a group of Trump supporters during an organized rally, and a verbal argument broke out. The suspect ended up punching Schockler in the face, leaving him with a broken tooth and a large cut on his right eyebrow. Schockler said he intended to engage with others during the rally in hopes to open their minds.
I want people to know that, hey, there's people who want to engage with you. We also don't want, you to just think that nobody's going to try and not engage with you when you go out and do Trump rallies. I want to be there peacefully to engage, but I want to engage with them, and obviously oppose their ideas, but not in any violent way. I'm not a violent person, so.
Schockler set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for his medical bills. Any remaining money raised will be donated to support Denton Food, Not Bombs, and the Audre Lorde Project. Jordan, back to you.
Despite calls for him to step down from office, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says he will not resign. This comes after 7 of his most senior aides accused him of bribery and abuse of office. Over the weekend, the top aides signed a letter calling for a federal investigation of Paxton. UNT political science instructor Antonio Molinar says these are serious allegations.
When they sent the letter, they're saying that they're quite certain that these violations have occurred. Again, these aren't legal charges. They're just saying, look, I think something happened, and I think it's important that you look into it. And that's exactly what Americans need. That's exactly what Texans need, to kind of feel that vote of confidence that even the people in power are held accountable. And that's kind of a big topic today.
Molinar says this latest situation in an already complicated election year could lead to confusion for voters.
This may carry a little more influence with prospective voters. I know he's not up for re-election, and it's not anything that he can be voted out of office. The governor can't ask him to step down, right? He's an elected official. But I think it might weigh on the minds of individuals looking to vote when top officials in the Republican Party are being accused of, and in this case, repeatedly accused of violating statutory code or the law in that sense.
Paxton has made only limited comments, saying he was just doing his job.
When we return, we'll fill you in on Trump's recent comments and how it has affected our economy.
And I'll tell you about a festival happening near Denton. We'll be back after the break.
The stock market took a dip today after President Donald Trump tweeted that he would no longer be negotiating with Democrats for a new stimulus bill. Mandy Gather has more on this story.
To Michigan, Texas, to New York, the number of coronavirus cases are climbing.
We are at a crucial moment in this city.
In New York City, schools in some neighborhoods closed less than a week after reopening, as city leaders try to get ahead of a worrisome spread of COVID-19. Mayor Bill de Blasio also proposing closures of some non-essential businesses in the hotspot zip code, saying the tough restrictions are nothing the city wants, but effectively what it needs.
We have to get ahead of this. We have to bring everything to bear we can.
As the pandemic continues, many families like Rose Rodriguez's are struggling, getting a weekly box of food from the Salvation Army and Los Angeles Food Bank after losing her job.
Y'all live check by check, but now it's not check, it's a box that I have to stretch out for 7 days.
And there's still no stimulus deal in sight. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, in a letter to colleagues Friday, said we still have significant disagreement in key areas, while Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell accused Democrats of holding up coronavirus stimulus relief.
For the sake of our nation, let's hope they finally lay down their partisan demands and let our country get back on offense against this disease.
I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
No stimulus package is a huge economic blow, especially to the airlines, and in North Texas, that means Americans and Southwest. The CEO of Southwest, Gary Kelly, is taking a pay cut, his entire salary for the next year. He and other officials are cutting their salaries to help pay employees and prevent any layoffs. All this comes, of course, from the ongoing COVID economic slowdown.
For those who plan on traveling this holiday, health experts are worried about a surge in COVID-19 cases heading into the holiday season. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
President Trump taking to Twitter after his 3-day hospitalization for COVID-19, telling the U.S. to not be afraid of the virus. But some medical experts urging more caution.
It is a contagious, deadly disease. We will get through it, but we have to treat it with the fear that it deserves, so that we don't inadvertently get too many people infected.
An updated influential coronavirus model now predicts COVID-19 could kill more than 2,900 people daily by late December.
We're starting to see the Midwest and the Northwest an uptick in test positivity, which tends to be a predictor that you're going to have surges.
Some of those surges could come from complacency.
I do think there's fatigue. I think it's been a long 6 months. We haven't beat this disease yet. There isn't herd immunity. We need to be vigilant through the rest of this fall, winter, and probably next spring until there's a vaccine.
A study from Massachusetts General Hospital found that easing pandemic social distancing measures immediately erased public health gains against the coronavirus.
Some people in this country are going to be able to have a relatively normal type of a Thanksgiving, but in other areas of the country, it's going to be you better hold off and maybe just have immediate family.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
There are more than 210,000 known COVID-19 related fatalities in the U.S., according to Johns Hopkins University.
Now, as we head into October, I'm hoping we can finally say goodbye to the summer heat.
Me too, Blake. I'm just about ready for sweaters and hot chocolate. Andrew, do you have any good news for us for the rest of the week?
Well, Jordan, while we are 6 days into October, there is still no Halloween weather anywhere in sight unless you're in Paris, Texas, where it's 78 degrees, and that's our North Texas low. But temperatures only rise from there. We see 83 degrees in Gainesville, 84 in Decatur, and a North Texas high of 87 degrees in Fort Worth. Now, as we look across the state, you will see that in El Paso, to no one's surprise, it is still 90 degrees and hot out there. But then there's a little variation throughout the state. We see 87 degrees in Amarillo, 86 in Austin. But as we look in Shreveport, which is over here. If you look in Shreveport, you will see that it is 77 degrees, and this is most likely because of Hurricane Delta, which is currently en route and will make landfall in 3 days. And you will see that this Category 4 hurricane will influence our weekly weather, as you can see, because come Friday, we'll have some clouds in the sky, which will probably be brought in because of that Category 4 storm. No real variation in temperature, but as you can see throughout the week, that temperatures will dip just a little bit. Now, come Sunday, the sun will be back out, but we'll see our actual weekly low of 58 degrees during the night, 2 58-degree nights. But then come Tuesday, sun is back out at 81 degrees. That's all out here. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. This beautiful weather means it's officially fall. So you know what that means, pumpkin patch fun for all. ntTV's Kayla Holt has more. Kayla?
Today I'm in Aubrey, Texas at Team Family Farms. With me here is Cowboy Tex. Thank you for joining us. What do you like best about Team Family Farms?
The thing I like best about Team Family Farms, what we do out here, I guess I'd say helping people make memories.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I also heard that there's a Pumpkin Patch Festival going on. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Pumpkin Patch Festival, that's what we call it. So we've got everything from feeding animals. We've got some fun farm animals that eat right out of your hand. We've got all kinds of activities out here, just hands-on things. We've got this year, we have some human hamster wheels. Get in there with you and your friends, roll around, that's right. And we've got a giant tube slide that's new this year. And just all kinds of fun things. Come out, relax, enjoy the country a little bit, the nice weather, and, you know.
Just kind of unwind.
Unwind, exactly right. We've got chairs and tables spread out. You can relax and unplug your phone for a few minutes and just, you know, enjoy nature.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for having us.
Well, I appreciate it. Can I tell all these nice folks something?
Yeehaw! Beautiful. Team Family Farms is open 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and the admission is only $10. Check them out. For the meantime, I'm going to go take a cute Instagram picture. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks, Kayla. If drive-through fairs are not for you, then maybe a fair pop-up is just what you need. Jessica Jalal has the scoop.
Thanks, Jordan. I, for one, am pretty devastated that the state fair is not open this season. However, I did get to visit a place that feels just like the famous state fair.
What's got a Ferris wheel, funnel cake, carnival games, and big techs? No, it's not the State Fair of Texas, it's Ferris Wheelers Backyard and Barbecue. This pop-up patio looks a lot like the famous Texas State Fair. They feature live music, a full restaurant, and fair fun for the whole entire family. The owner, Cody Hand, felt that this is what Dallas needed in lieu of the fair's closing due to the current pandemic.
Well, whenever they said we wouldn't have a state fair, it just kind of was a no-brainer.
It's located in Dallas, just 7 minutes from Fair Park. If you're not up for the drive-through Texas State Fair this year and miss what the fair used to be, then Ferris Wheelers is the spot for you.
So fun to see families come out and enjoy some of their favorite things that have at the fair, whether it's cotton candy, corn dogs, funnel cakes. It's been a lot of fun. They have games out here. The atmosphere is just so much fun.
Ferris Wheelers features an indoor and outdoor area. The pop-up is open until October 25th, but keep an eye on the place for what theme they come up with next.
That's all I have for Seen and Heard. Back to you at the desk.
When we come back from the break, we've got the latest on news from the world of cell phones. And I'll tell you about how you can enjoy Halloween while being safe. Stick around, y'all. that time of the year where Apple fans are awaiting a new product release. Apple is expected to release the new iPhone 12 on October 13th. Invitations have been sent out reading high speed. A big feature is 5G capabilities, allowing the device to connect to a faster wireless network. Usually, the iPhone announcement would be made in September, but due to the COVID-19, the release was delayed. The event will be live streamed on Apple's website. And one way you could use your new iPhone is to browse Instagram, but be careful what you say. The social media platform announced today that they will be testing a new software that plans to use artificial intelligence to identify and hide potentially offensive comments. Users will be able to view hidden comments by clicking on a button. With this announcement came a warning that users who are getting continuously flagged will be at risk of having their account deleted.
One thing that won't be hidden on social media is all of the upcoming holiday posts. With Halloween approaching, the CDC is still urging Americans to celebrate safely, but there are still many ways you can enjoy the holiday.
Guidelines released by the CDC, door-to-door trick-or-treating runs a high risk when it comes to the coronavirus. But for some parents, letting go of a tradition can be hard.
And I think the most important part for us is trying to get some sense of normalcy, but also reducing risk.
If you do plan to get dressed up, the CDC says don't substitute a Halloween mask for a cloth mask unless it's made of 2 or more layers of breathable fabric covering your mouth and nose without gaps. And don't wear a costume mask over a cloth mask. The CDC says it can be dangerous because it could make it hard to breathe. Instead, consider using a Halloween-themed cloth mask. When it comes to handing out candy, pre-packaged baggies may have a lower risk of spreading the virus compared to children going door to door, according to NC State food safety specialist Benjamin Chapman.
As opposed to all hands going into a bowl, or more risky, someone actually placing food, candy or treats directly into a bag.
Chapman says food and food packaging have a low risk of virus transmission.
And really the best risk management that kids can do and parents can do is just washing hands after handling the packaging before eating.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
It seems the big word in sports these days is bubble, and we just got a Major League Baseball bubble here in North Texas. But the NBA bubble is making real news tonight down in Orlando. Sports anchor Michelle Brooks is here with more on that. Michelle?
Thanks, Jordan. It's day 100 in the NBA bubble, and there could still be up to 4 more games in Orlando. Before we know who this year's NBA champion is, I'll have more on Game 4 after this. The NBA bubble is coming to a close as the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat battle it out in the finals. The Lakers took Game 1 and 2, but the Heat turned it on for Game 3 on Sunday night. Jimmy Buckets Butler specifically turned it on for the Heat. Playing arguably the best game of his life, he finished the game with 40 points, 11 rebounds, and 13 assists. A triple-double finals first for the forward. Frustrated by the 115-104 loss, LeBron left the court before the final buzzer had sounded. The Lakers lead the series 2-1, but Game 4 is tonight, and Butler, who spoke with reporters today, said, quote, "We're going to compete. We're not going to lay down. We're going to fight back in this thing and even it up 2-2. and I think they plan to do exactly that. With a possible return from Bam Adebayo, who is upgraded to questionable for Game 4 today, the added height plus Butler's will to win could even the series up for sure. Speaking of big games, a local rivalry was put on a big stage last Friday night as 5A number 10 ranked Denton Ryan took on 6A number 4 Denton Geyer in the Battle of Denton. It was Ryan who took the field with force, defensively dominating Geyer's high-powered offense, who is led under quarterback Eli Stowers, an A&M commit. Both teams are known for being historically good in their divisions, both made it to last year's state championships, and both lost. Ryan held Geyer to only 7 first downs the entire game, totaling 223 yards. The final score was close, though, at 23-20. This win marks Ryan's second win against a 6A team this season. Ryan now leads the rivalry 5-3. I'm glad good football is being played somewhere, because the NFC East cannot say the same. The Cowboys fell to the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, 49-38. This is the third loss for the Cowboys this season, and their record stands at 1-3. The Washington football team also have a record of 1-3, their last 3 games being losses. The Eagles recorded their first win of this season this past weekend against the 49ers, and they could be doing more. They could be doing better in terms of winning, but they tied the Bengals in week 3. The Giants sit at the very end of the division at 0-4. At least one NFC team should secure a win this weekend, as the Cowboys take on the Giants in a divisional matchup on Sunday in Dallas. That's all I have for sports. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television. I know, I like those Halloween graphics.